Let's go.
All right, we'll get rolling. So, Lee, thank you for joining me for an episode of Chats. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, Greg. It's always fun to sit and chat. Of course, we had to have our 30-minute chat before we do our little quick
Yes,
av chat. You gotta get some balance
lot
in
to
there.
catch up on for sure.
No, absolutely.
Well, big congratulations to you and in taking on this new role. Maybe you could tell us a little bit about all of that. What are you up to?
Oh, wow. Well, so I took a new position. I'm now working with an organization out of Louisville, Kentucky called Thoroughbred Aviation. It is an aircraft sales brokerage firm. Primarily focusing on business jets. It's
Yep.
like, and so I was approached by Nathan. Here's an opportunity. It's a small business. It's growing very quickly. Definitely taking advantage. Great partners with Spencer Mitchell and Jamie Smith, and so of course working with Nathan Winkle and his wife Melanie Winkle. And there's a couple of other people that might be coming on board soon as well. But I've always been kind of on the periphery of aircraft sales.
Yeah, sure.
I always had one of those jobs where they had to call because they were either in a pre-buy or they just taken delivery or they were planning this or planning that. And so, they would call me for something. So it's
Yep.
kind of always kind of on the periphery. And in my new position here, a lot of it's focusing on more of like the operations side of it and the business development. Nathan did say I could sell an airplane if I wanted to. I'm not ready for that yet. What they get a time. But no, it's really just kind of making sure that they have the tools. It's aircraft sales, just like just about any other product that you're selling. It's so much about your relationships, how being able to deliver efficiently and effectively. And I think a lot of that, it's also kind of like that little bit of the trust factor of, are you doing the best thing for your client?
Right.
And aviation is such a small industry and community, and that to be able to kind of be there at the beginning to say, this is the perfect airplane for you. It's like this is it. This is
Right.
from from you as a passenger experience to how it operates to just how technically sound it is, to be kind of part of that whole process to where you find the perfect one. It's exciting, and to be able to, there's a
Sure.
lot of first time buyers right now, lots of first time buyers. So you talk to people who've never, they've flown before, but this is their first aircraft purchase, first some cases, they've always like flown commercial. They were
Mhm.
first class or something, but then because of all the COVID, everything there, they started flying charter. But they're like, I'm ready to take that next step, and so they're buying their first aircraft. And I mean, I'm already an aviation biz av junkie, so it's like I want to make sure that these people have the very best experience possible because we want to keep them here and keep
Sure.
doing that. And so that's a lot of what I'm doing, just kind of helping Nathan out, doing stuff along those lines. Still active in the industry, that's how I met Nathan all those years ago, being
Yeah.
active on in NBAA in the maintenance committee. There's some other things that Women in Corporate Aviation. I'm starting to get involved in a couple of other things, maybe in this, in this side, women in aviation sales, some stuff like
Cool.
that. So yeah, it's exciting to be involved.
Yeah.
That, and I've got a whole new group of people to talk to. It's like
Yeah.
a whole new group. So it's fun. It's a lot of fun.
So jumping into, I know Thoroughbred's been around for the last couple of years,
Mhm.
small business, small team. I know they're running, really fast right now, kind of like
Right.
on all cylinders, all over
Mhm.
the place. So you jump into the mix here. What are some of the things that you're kind of focusing in on in regards to kind of taking this smaller team and kind of helping them in regards to like infrastructure and technology and tools and things like that to help them take the business to the next level?
So I think one of the things is we've COVID's accelerated a lot of the work from home technologies, working with remote
Yeah.
teams. But when I think back of it, I was actually thinking about something similar on this. It's about processes and being efficient. And I actually built my very first like automated application back
Okay.
in 2008
Yes, I
because I
remember
got
this story.
Oh, I don't know if you remember this one. I actually had
Okay.
forgotten this one. This one's I'd
Okay.
forgotten. This one was I had a Word document PDF for a selective admissions program I was working at the college, and I found this product called Caspio. It's still around, but it let me build a whole automated system where I could put it online easily, and it was the first time I'd ever done anything like that. And because I was thinking back to like I do have my PDFs working with the FAA. That was my very first one, but this was the first one where I like built an application with the database and you could go back and stuff like that. But so, when you're looking at there's a lot of tools out now that allow you to be very efficient and to because it's not about using technology, it's always been about using the right technology, and
Right.
especially when you're using in a small team that's moving fast, you have to be very selective in what technologies you're using because it needs to bring something that brings value and is not going to slow down momentum. And so especially like at the beginning there's some shifts. Nathan, Spencer, and Jamie, they're so busy selling. I don't want to slow them down on
Right.
anything, but I do want to take what they're doing and how can we automate that, centralize it. They've done amazing with emails and text messages and spreadsheets. They've done an amazing job with that. But, when you're starting to scale and grow, you can't keep relying on that. So,
Right.
I've spent a lot of time evaluating CRMs, but it's like finding the right CRM that works for this industry, for this specific one, and how efficient can you make it? I introduced Slack. Yes, I
Yeah.
have Slack. Everybody's got Slack. They've got their emojis. They're coming along. Got to
Cool.
have our emojis, but those all integrate in, and so things aren't getting overlooked because there is such a high volume. And looking at integrations, what can we do, especially because sometimes when you look at it, some of these tools may be a little bit more expensive, but it's cheaper than hiring another person. because
Right.
you know because otherwise you would have to bring in another person to help manage some of this. But if you have the right tools and you take the right time to you do your due diligence on how they're going to be applied, then you're making it better. And I mean, we've all been through the trials and tribulations of CRMs. So it's really kind of cool to start a CRM from the very beginning and think about all the things. And then, Jamie, Spencer, Nathan, they've all been in CRM world before and they're like, I hate it. I don't like it. I know it's necessarily evil. So it's like, okay, how do I balance that to make sure that
Sure.
it also brings in like market research activities, different things along those lines, as well as I think a lot of it is you always have to think of, is it going to be a tool that can scale?
Right. Sure.
And because you can buy something or you can use something that's free and that's great for the moment. But what happens when you need to scale, and can you get your data out of wherever it is to scale?
Sure.
And that's a lot of it. So those are the lot of things that I'm working on kind of in the background. And it's a great opportunity because it teaches me a lot about the processes, the procedures, all the little nuances that go into a transaction, whether it's, whether we're working on an acquisition for a customer or whether we're getting ready to list something. So there's all those little pieces. And the better I do my job, the better they do their job and the better experience it is for our customer in the long run.
For sure. No, that's really cool. I mean, it's a big thing to figure out in, okay, selecting the right technology that is going to actually help and not hinder, right? And
Right.
so in a lot of cases you want to be recording things, you want to have the right records, you want to have the right
Hmm.
workflows, and you might have that vision in your head for what like the perfect workflow is and the perfect kind of set of all
Right.
your tables and all your data points. But how does that plug in reality when you have, where you have a team that's running at 100 miles an hour? So there's always kind of a give and take there, right?
Hmm.
Because while the reality of it is that they may spend some more time here, the hope is that the benefits from that platform are going to help out, whether it's in reporting or future sales or
Right.
having research and things like that.
Well,
So
and aircraft movement is, so one of the things is like tracking aircraft movement. I've been trying to do that in some form or fashion probably for close to almost the past 10, 12 years,
Yeah.
trying to figure out aircraft movement. How do you track it and how do you use it efficiently and effectively? And so, those are those tools that, when you're trying to tell your team, like, this is why we do this, because you may actually need to find, you may have a customer that says, hey, I found this CJ3, they give you the serial number and you're able to pull it up in our system. And like I said, it's like go through steps 1 through 5 of research before you go
Right.
through 6 through 10. Or that aircraft may have already been evaluated by our team and be a hard no.
Right. Sure.
But this is why. So instead of having to go back and find the person, or if
Look through your emails and figure out
oh
what the
God,
yeah, sure.
oh Lord, no, absolutely. But those are those tools. So you have to show the value at the end of the day and how it reports. So I'm spending a lot of time on the back end of it, trying to get as much information built in first, so that way they don't have to.
Mhm.
So they can see the value of the information that they're inputting in. But at the end of the day, I can pull the data that we need to see as far as we're doing as a business and what we're doing in market share, how we're doing those things.
Sure.
And and honestly, if it's not working, then we need to reevaluate and see where we can kind of fix it. And
Sure.
I think some of the tools we're looking at actually allow us to make those changes as well.
Cool.
So we're not going to be like locked in.
Yeah, sure. And is there a particular segment of the market or types of aircraft that Thoroughbred focuses in on?
I would say that it really anything that's more, business jet.
Sure.
It's more. We do a little bit into the turboprop. There's the King Air market,
Yeah,
something along
sure.
those twin engine turbos, of course, like some PC-12s, some TBMs, but primarily our focus is with especially like with the Jamie and Nathan's background in large cabin Gulfstream, a lot of those
Mhm.
different things, those relationships, so we do a lot of large cabin. Honestly, it's if it has a jet
Yeah.
engine right now, it's like, let's go for it,
Sure.
and it really just kind of depends on what the customer is also looking for. And
Right.
so, we have a lot of experience just kind of across the board with all of them to make sure the perfect fit. And so we've already like taken customers who'd been customers before who are ready to upgrade. At
Mhm.
the time, I keep using it. At the time, I was we'll just use CJ3 was a perfect aircraft for them. But now they're ready to upgrade. They've done it, they've experienced, they understand, and now they're ready to go to that next step.
Cool.
So
And I know
anything along those lines.
anything along those lines. I know that you have a new I should say a new listing, not a new aircraft, but a new listing for a
Yes.
Challenger 650 that just went up
Oh,
this week.
oh yeah. Beautiful aircraft.
Yeah.
Got a Challenger 650 that just went up. We got a couple of others that are coming down the pipe here soon that we'll have listed. But that 650, it's a beautiful aircraft. Now I get a little giddy over all
Yeah.
airplanes, so unless it's just a big old piece of junk, it's hard for me to say, ugh. I'm not. I definitely haven't gotten to where I'm like a complete airplane snob yet. I might get there. We'll see. But
Sure.
no, this is based out of Atlanta. It's a great aircraft, and the market is hot. I can't even tell you how many inquiries we've had just since Monday,
Cool.
when we listed it on Monday. So it's definitely a hot market. Got some more coming down the pipe, and it's just it's a lot of fun. They told me it was a little bit of an adrenaline rush, and they're right. It kind of
Yeah.
is.
Well,
I just
cool. Well, congrats again on this new role. It sounds
thank you.
exciting and looking forward to seeing where you guys take it all. But maybe we could shift gears. I know that's something that you are excited about. Something I'm excited about as well is the NBAA Maintenance Conference that's coming up. Um,
3 years, Greg. 3 years. We have not been together since 2019 for the maintenance conference. So
Yes. So tell me a little bit about your role in that and tell us a little bit about this show and why everybody should be there.
well, first off, it's just fun.
Yeah.
Okay. First off, it's just fun. But no, so the maintenance conference it's the NBAA Maintenance Conference, and it's a show that's really targeted to directors of maintenance, whether they're in a 91 or 135 environment. That's
Mhm.
what the content, the agenda is targeted to. That's the peers that come, it's 3 days of talking about how to support the maintenance function in those areas. And it doesn't matter whether you're an entry level technician or you've been in the industry a while. There's something for everybody to
Yep.
build that. And so this year it's in San Antonio.
Okay.
Also, that's almost like a hometown for me. I'm
Yep.
super. We don't need to get into scooter stories there, Greg. I know you wanted to, but we're not going to. Um, but it's down in San Antonio. It's actually May 3rd, 4th, and 5th. So if you're going, I would recommend getting a room now because May 5th is Cinco de Mayo in Texas and San
Mm.
Antonio. Might want a long weekend down on the Riverwalk. It will be a blast. But I've been involved with the maintenance committee. I think we decided since 2006. There's actually no record of when I started. I think I just appeared.
Like, who is this woman?
I know. It's like, who's this person sitting in the back? It's like, this. And at that time, I was kind of like a little girl. They're like, oh, look at that little girl sitting there back there. But no, I think about around 2006, 2007 is when I became involved. And then the maintenance conference is, I've been the chair or co-chair, I think, probably for about eight conferences now coming
Cool.
up this year. And my co-chairs this year are Doug Gordon, who works for EJM, and Nate Deach, who's with Netflix.
Cool.
And then also Phil Suglia from Duncan's been doing a lot of helping out. I'm currently the secretary of the maintenance committee. They tried to get rid of me for years, but they couldn't. So now they're stuck with me for 6 once you get into the leadership path. But no, it's a great show. It's a lot of wonderful, wonderful people. It's the vendors, it's a great place to do for vendors who are exhibiting, whether they're talking directly to the DOMs or you have 3 days interacting with the other vendors. So, everything's so intertwined.
Sure.
Duncan Aviation may be speaking to somebody, but then Duncan uses 12 of the other people who are exhibiting there to augment their company and their business. And so there's always something to do. And of course, you're going to be there, right, Greg?
I will be there. Yes. Yes, I will be there. I'm definitely looking forward to it. It's been a while, and
3 years.
Yes.
No, you didn't even go. It's been 4 years. You didn't go.
I didn't go to the last one.
That's right.
So it's been a long time. So I'm really excited about it. It's always been an awesome event to connect with, all of the all of our operators, all of our
Mhm.
Part 91 directors of maintenance, 135 directors of maintenance. There's also a lot of flight operations people that
Right.
end up attending. And there's a great group of vendors that
Mhm.
support the event. So I've been a big fan of it. It's been my favorite event of the year for a long time, and so I'm definitely excited to get back into the mix there. So
Oh, no, me too. Yeah, because it's been 4 years for you, 3 years for
yes.
me. I will say, if anybody was familiar with the leadership conference, the girl did have on this silver sequin little jumpsuit. I don't know. Shannon and I were thinking of maybe pulling something off like that for the maintenance conference. We'll see.
Fun.
So.
I got to circle back to the scooter story though. I almost
Oh,
forgot
Lord.
that it was in San Antonio.
Oh, Lord.
But what Lee was referring to before was last time we were in San Antonio. And what was
It
the
was
what?
for schedulers and
Okay,
dispatch.
schedulers and
Schedulers and
dispatchers
dispatch.
in
Nine,
2018,
19.
19.
19, because
Okay.
it was 20, it was in Charlotte, and the world shut down.
Okay.
I think
So
that's right.
yeah. Okay. So yeah, we were ripping around right around the Alamo on the what were they, bird scooters,
I don't know.
and we were, had a group of us, and here comes Lee, and she's ripping like full throttle, and lost control, and we have video of this event. So we're not gonna post that, or maybe we will. Maybe we could edit it
No,
into
no, no.
this. And
I think they find you, Greg, and they have to ask for it. I
yeah.
don't mind sharing. I don't think it needs to go viral on the internet, but it's
Okay.
one of those
So
things.
that's a great point. If you're going to come to the maintenance conference, stop by our booth, and I will show you the video of Lee eating it
Oh God.
right outside the Alamo at about, I don't know, probably 16 miles an hour on a bird scooter.
Way too fast. I did survive, barely. I did
Yeah,
survive, but I have
you
not been
made
on
it.
a scooter since. And there was no alcohol involved in the scooter ride. I will let you know that.
Yes,
I
that's
wish
right.
it may have been a little bit more justified if I could have said there had been. I'm not really sure.
Well,
But
cool. Well, we look forward to seeing you at the maintenance conference. I'm sure we'll talk and do something before then. But yeah, thanks for giving us an update and on what you're doing and a rundown on what's going on in May.
no, absolutely. Thank you, Greg. I appreciate it. And we'll see you in San Antonio.
All right, sounds